Hey friends, I'm in the parking lot and this is just the way that it goes. This is mom life. I just dropped my son off at basketball practice and it's a little bit early and he wanted me to hang out in case he needed to pop back out to the car. So here I am making a TikTok. I wanted to talk today about fasting. I don't talk a lot about fasting because I'm aware that I have a lot of new carnivores watching my content. And I don't want fasting to be a part of the conversation because I'm protective of you all. But let's talk about fasting. Let's talk about when to use it, why to use it, and all the good things. Okay, so if you're new to carnivore, let's talk about why I don't recommend fasting, at least for like 6 to 12 months. And when I'm talking about fasting, I mean a longer extended fast. If you're happy doing like a 12 to 16 hour fast, like 8 to 12 the next day, like 8 p.m. to 12 the next day, no big deal. That's fine. As long as you're getting enough food in for your eating window, which is then 8 hours from 12 noon to 8. Here's why I don't want you to do it, at least until you've been on carnivore for 6 to 12 months. So when you're first on carnivore, you are learning your body is having its first go at becoming fat adapted and using fat for fuel. And this takes some time. Now, could you get into it within a week? Maybe, if you've been someone that's been eating no carb or low carb for a while, but I truly don't think that you own it until you've been on the carnivore diet for like 6 months or 6 months to like a year. So I often don't want to recommend fasting because you should just be focusing at the beginning on not eating the foods that are drug foods for you and the foods that are processed and high sugar. You should just focus on eating more of the right things. And that actually takes energy, and we have a finite amount of energy. And so why use your energy for fasting if you could just be using your energy for learning how to live this lifestyle of a high protein, high fat diet, and making sure, by the way, that you are eating enough food and that your body is in a happy place, because you don't want to start fasting if your body's not actually balanced. So if you're jumping into fasting too early, you could have nutrient deficiencies. Like your gut may not be healed yet. You have to eat enough fat to actually heal and get rid of the triggers to actually heal your gut so that you start to absorb nutrients well. And if you're fasting, then you can have nutrient deficiencies because your gut's not healed and you're not getting enough nutrients. Your energy could suffer. Your hormonal imbalances aren't quite there yet. So there's a lot of reasons why waiting is a good idea. So this whole thing is focusing on healing your body, treating your body right, giving it nutrient-dense foods, not depriving it, and just allowing the process to be slow and steady. And if you're someone not motivated by all the healing talk, I don't know how you could not be, but you're mostly motivated by the weight loss talk, this also is good for weight loss. So just fasting and depriving yourself of nutrients, don't think about it like that. Yeah, okay, calories in, calories out. You have to restrict calories in order to lose weight, but you can't lose weight if your body's not happy, and if your hormones aren't balanced, your body's not happy. So I kind of feel like it's like you got to learn to walk before you run. And when you start the carnivore diet by fasting, I feel like that's like running a marathon on your first day of training. You wouldn't do that if you were just starting training for a marathon. If you were just on the couch and starting, a completely new training program. You wouldn't go to a powerlifting meet or bodybuilding competition if you have not been training for it. And so I kind of think about that first 6 months to 12 months as your opportunity to lay the foundation work. And then fasting can be a really cool toggle switch so that you can get better results. Maybe you need to get in ketosis faster and you want to use fasting. Maybe you need to get rid of cravings because you maybe had a couple cheats over the weekend and you didn't stay clean carnivore and you were kind of a little dirty carnivore. Then you can kind of use fasting as a tool, but I feel like starting off with fasting is a little bit more like it's too restrictive. So what I'm getting at is that fasting shouldn't be after at least early on. I know I just said fasting could be after you go dirty carnivore for a little bit, but that's only if you've earned the right to do that. I think the right way to do fasting is after you are consistent on carnivore, you're eating lots of good proteins and fats, you are eating enough, you are healing your hormones, you feel good, you know that you feel good because you have steady energy, your cravings are gone, and you feel like you can perform in your life without having any issues, like you've got your macronutrients down and you know that you're getting good nutrients in your system, then you can try fasting. And it's a really good body reset. It is a nice way for you to be in autophagy, where your cells have really nice turnover. It's really great if you're trying to kill off cancer cells or any sort of cancer growth. A lot of good things can happen from autophagy. You could actually be in autophagy if you're on a strict carnivore diet anyway, but you can use this as a tool, but only after about 6 to 12 months. Personally, I have used a fast, like a 24-hour fast, after I have cheated on the carnivore diet. I did that maybe after like a year. I started using that, and maybe if I went out and I had a couple drinks with friends and then I had a bag of snacks because I still wasn't fully healed. Well, I'm not fully healed from my food addiction and carb addiction. And then I'd have that little snack and I'd be like, all right, instead of waiting a couple days to finally let my cravings go away, I'm just going to have a hard day. I'm going to not eat anything and I'm going to reset. But that I've done with my eyes wide open and in a healthy way. I'm not restricting myself. I'm literally just speeding up the process of resetting. I think that's something you earn the right to do. You can try it, but I think that if you deal with any sort of eating disorder or food addiction, tread lightly on this one. I'm going to teach this inside a standalone program that I'm creating for food freedom for people who have dealt with food addiction. But I'm making this so long. I hope you're along for the ride. Are you still listening? So I hope this is helpful. I do want to break down fasting a little bit more, but I do think that it is something that you need to wait to do right. If you're using a 12 to 16 hour to 18 hour fast, that's totally fine. I think using that sparingly is fine. I am working with a lot of new carnivores and I'm asking them to not do that because I would prefer to see them eating more regularly for hormone balance and for hormone health. And then we will kind of slow down to speed up, and then we'll use that as a toggle switch later for just some different progress marks that they want to hit. So hopefully that helps. Bye.